That is called the Giant's Crossing. It goes from Scotland over to Ireland. That's Ireland over there. Each of those blocks are these giant pillars. They're about 20 feet tall. You're just seeing the tops of them. And they're about 5 feet around. Some of them are a little bit smaller. You can walk in and around some of them. Little maze down on the ground. And the ocean is all over here on this side. So you can see it from the ocean. It just looks like that, like all smushed together.
Yeah.
And the legend is that it was built by two giants and they could do battle.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So those stones, they're not actually like, it's not that like a full-size human would be in them. They're really big, you said?
Yeah, they're really big and they're really tall. They're really tall.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely Wikipedia that.
Yeah, you can see all the other pictures up on the side now.
Yeah.
We had that in my living room in Ottawa, and this Irish guy asked if he'd crash on our couch, and he was like, "Hey, it's me home, lads." And he danced a little jig, and we fucking shook his Lucky Charms out of him, and then he explained the story, and we gave him his charms back.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start the show up. Hello, folks, fans, and freaks. Welcome to the Jerk Off Hour. I'm your host, Dr. J. Cole. Let's waste some time, sons. The JOH is brought to you by wickedbad.net, home of the illest, iTunes, and Stitcher. So, if you're not into iTunes, and a lot of people aren't into iTunes, they're like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, iTunes, man. It's like everyone, but not everyone knows.
Really?
Yeah, not everyone. You'd be fucking surprised how many people don't know
really
what
surprising.
iTunes is.
So you're saying that if you walk up to an average, young student, and you ask them what iTunes is, they won't know what it is. There's a high chance of that they won't know.
Yeah, I've ran into more people than not.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So if you're not into iTunes, go on your phone and download something called Stitcher, the Stitcher app. Stitcher will let you do a search for the Jerk Off Hour or my other show with Clayton AD. It's called Into the Deep. You can download that shit both through Stitcher. And the coolest thing about Stitcher is that it's now being included in car systems.
That's awesome.
So like different GM cars and Fords and shit. Buy a new car, it's got Stitcher app in there. So you can just download podcasts and radio shows online things.
Yeah.
Just kind of drive around and listen to that shit. Definitely.
Really
As soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm getting on Stitcher. I'm getting on Stitcher right now, man. This is awesome. I definitely want to listen to this in my car.
Yeah.
That's nothing cooler than that.
No.
Driving around, guess what, man? We're listening to the internet. The fucking internet in the car, motherfucker. Yeah. Or like while you're stuck in traffic.
Listening
I don't want to listen to these stupid commercials. We'll listen to Jay's stupid commercials.
You're like, you ain't cool if you're listening to this.
Oh, fuck.
Bump up the coolness factor.
Sponsoring podcasts are riftriders.net for all you crazy gamer fans out there who want to get deep with the world of games. And then all the way from the T-Dot, it's Big Specials House. Mixcloud.com/Big Specials House for the best Canadian hip-hop in the podcast world. Hosted by my good friend and fam, Spesh K. Scotia represent. And then my good friends over at JimBaLiDubStep.com.
Yeah.
You've been there before.
Well, yeah, I've only had one mix submitted, but...
Yeah?
I want to do more.
What do you mean submitted?
Submitted.
They let you submit mixes?
Yeah, they
to
do.
his website?
Yeah.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
His blog?
No.
Well, you obviously
He's
know.
just a sponsor. I don't read his shit. I don't like dubstep.
You don't?
I don't like anything. I just sit here and shut the lights off. When people leave, I don't read anything. Just put some earplugs in.
In complete solitude. What, are you taking a bath or something?
Just let a fucking dial tone play through my fucking headphones. Ooh.
Oh my god.
No. I just haven't checked out his page in a while, so
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
So you obviously know Mark, right? Like that's the...
Yeah.
guy who runs the blog. I guess apparently I think I looked into it about a year and a half ago, and I just saw a lot of the like DJs in the scene were getting these Jimla Dubstep mixes releases and everything about Jimla Dubstep. So I looked it up, and Mark actually has like this, he allows people to submit mixes. So
Yeah.
I made a mix and I submitted it, and I like, I don't know if he accepts all mixes. I'm pretty sure he does. But it was kind of a privilege to me at the time because I actually went online and they got reblogged in Germany, so it was kind of a big thing for me at the time because it was just like, ooh, they usually don't get like international recognition, but so that was a step forward. But I was really happy with the way I mixed that. And I mean, anyone can, do mixes like in a half an hour. Like mixes aren't a big thing anymore, but even I can say like almost a year later now, I still think that's a really good mix. It was just like smooth, deep, dark, exactly the kind of dubstep that I like. I don't like the generic, like wub, deep, like really wobbly, mainstream like bro step. I don't really like that.
Yeah.
My thing is like dark and deep.
Cool.
Yeah.
We should talk to Mark again. Is this one?
I'm not sure what's on there. I'm not
here?
sure which mixes are on there, but
This
I'm pretty
sticker
sure I have maybe my drum and bass mix and then my breaks mix. And my breaks mix is the latest one that I did like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so welcome to the studio.
Thanks. That's
This
great.
is, DJ Scribble.
Yeah.
DJ Scribble.
Yeah, you got it.
Awesome. How strict are you on your stage name? Like, are you always like, what's up? And when people are like, hi, my name's Jay, you're like, hi, DJ Scribble.
Well,
You ever do that?
Well, yeah, I guess
Like all just random people that your mom is like, come with me, I want you to come meet the new neighbors, and they come in, and this is my daughter, and you're like, DJ Scribble, sup?
Oh man.
Is that what happens?
That'd be hilarious if that actually happened. But no, well, sometimes I guess to people in a music scene, if I know that they're also a DJ, I say, hi, my name is DJ Scribble. Or I say like something like, my name's Sasha, but I go by the nickname Scribble in the scene or something along those lines. But yeah, I'm not really like finally decided on that name, to be honest, because the only reason why is because a lot of my friends, they're saying that I should use my full name. But in my opinion, it sounds really foreign. It's just like, in Russian, for example, it's the most typical Russian name you can have, pretty much.
That's good, though. That's like The Simpsons, man. That's good. That's got buying power.
It's not, though. It's like, it's too mainstream.
How do you say your last name?
Morozova.
Morozova.
Yeah.
Morozova.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say it like that? Morozova.
Mm-hmm. Morozova. That's how you say
DJ
it in
Morozova.
Russian. That sounds so... so corny. Like if somebody
To you,
but to me, if some Russian kid went to me like, yeah, DJ Morozova, like that would be like facepalm. That sounds so bad in my language, but
you know
I
what?
mean,
It sounds kind of cool in English. And you know what? Stupid shit sells, man. I can't stress enough how
yeah. Well,
stupid
maybe I'll
shit
go
sells.
with that then. Maybe I'll go with that conclusion.
Because
I
like,
don't know,
here's the thing: when you come out, like, you gotta make sure you are fucking the best. If you're gonna put a name like that, you gotta be the fucking best at what you do. You gotta go in there, just blow motherfuckers away, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just made fun of your name. I feel so bad. I'm gonna buy like double the t-shirts." They go up to the merch table and they're like, they just throw the money at you. Take their own fucking wallet and throw it at you up on stage.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it goes, man. That's
Yeah. Well, no.
the world I live in. That's how it goes.
I don't know. My teacher, like my mentor that taught me how to DJ, basically, he told me, I think it was about a year ago, that he said, if you want to stick to your Scribble nickname, you have to decide now if you want to stick to it, or if you don't, then you have to change it. Because I was getting to that point where, like,
You need some shit
not
published.
everyone started to hear of Scribble, but like some people in the scene started to hear of it, and then they were just like kind of confirming the name. You know what I mean? With every gig, that's how
Yeah.
it goes, though. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I personally find it confusing when DJs just decide to switch names.
Well, you know what? There's like, I don't know if you. I changed all my shit over to like my real name, just like Dr. J. Cole, instead of using my stage name Intuit, which
Yeah.
I've been using Intuit for everything forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's I've just recently been merging it away from that, and
Yeah.
just into my real name kind of thing. So, but like I guess Intuit's still my stage name for
Yeah.
certain projects. If I were to go and like rap in those old bands again, or rap in this band I'm in now, yeah, it's like a go crazy for a minute, and like another
Yeah.
personality comes out. You're like, no.
You're like, what's the name of that mainstream? She's Nicki Minaj. You know, like you know
Yeah.
her like
All the personalities and
self-acclaimed
shit.
personalities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, mainstream. There's too much of it in the city, to be honest. You know, there's so much mainstream here.
Yeah.
I just wish it was a little bit more underground.
Really?
I do.
I
really do.
I like mainstream shit. I listen to
Well,
everything.
I listen to
love
everything too.
And I love everything the same. I'm like, if it's talent, if it's done well, and it's good, and it sounds good, and I go like this, then that's all that matters.
Well, it's true. I agree with that, but it's just like I have this. I don't know. I just can't listen to certain genres. Like I can't listen to country.
Really? There's some good country songs out there. You should limit yourself.
Yeah, well,
There's some good ones. There's
I
only
know
like
there
5.
are.
Okay, there's only 5, and they're from like 50 years ago. But there's a few good ones.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you with, you know, liking and recognizing good talent, and I agree with that because I listen to all genres. Like it's I grew up on different types of music. I grew up listening to classical, went to musical school for a bit, then I kind of switched to chill out and trip hop. Like I listened to that for a bit, and then eventually I came to listen to electronic music. So I listened to all different genres, and that's including, you know, rock and alternative rock and sometimes metal and like rap and choir sometimes.
Yeah.
Just for personal inspiration, yeah. Like just when I have like these, when I lived in England, I had these really wonderful experiences of surprisingly not going to a show or, you know, like a gig, but it was a choir performance. And one time I remember I went to St. Paul's Cathedral, and it was like, I don't know if you know, like it's a really beautiful like marble cathedral in London.
Okay.
And it's has great acoustics, and just hearing that choir sing, like, it was just like a perfect sound quality. It was just enveloping. Like I was
Wow.
mesmerized.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was a great experience. But yeah, my tastes vary, except for like a few, you know, certain genres like country. I don't know why, I just can't listen to it.
Well, there's something about the fucking capitalist twang that it has. It's just like, fuck off. It's like that, and then like rap music. Like, look at my logo. Look at my logo. Buy my brand. Buy it. Buy it. And just fucking rap about it. Buy it.
Yeah, I said buy it.
I said, buy it. Buy it, motherfucker. I will fucking kill you.
I'm like Dave Chappelle, do a little skit.
Yeah.
Sell his own brand. Have Bazawa, you my only friend. It's like, bye, Bazawa.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So how did you get into music? What was the driving force? Did your parents like make you learn the spoons? And you're like, wow, I love making beats.
No, actually, my parents they have very different music tastes. My dad was pretty much into classical music his whole life, and my mom she didn't really listen to music, to be honest. I guess she listened to mainstream, but that's only because she listened to the radio.
Right.
when I discovered music was probably when I went to music school when I was 6. And I went to study piano and I was in it for 3 years. And that really taught me how to hear. Like, I remember in that school, at that early age, like, I was pretty young, my teacher...
Who put you in the class? Like, your parents
my
put
parents.
you in the
No,
class?
my parents did.
Okay, cool.
And they did that, I guess, like, back in the day, like in the 90s, and I guess a couple of decades before that, like that kind of 20 or 30 year mark between like 1970s and now.
Yeah.
It was, I guess it was kind of considered prestige to put your child into music school. Like they wanted you like to kind of raise your cultural knowledge. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Make the like or not make the child but like take the child to like music school or language school or something like that, learn a different language for a change. And
I had to learn French.
Yeah.
When I was little.
I didn't have to learn English, but I did because they placed me like early class placement, so I've basically been learning English since I was 4.
Wow. You're pretty good at it.
Well, yeah, people still say you have a little bit of an accent.
I can hear an accent.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's like muffled. But it's almost like a mixture of... Because I also talked in like this British accent. I lived in England. So it's British combined with Russian.
When you learned English, you learned British English.
No, when I learned English was back in Estonia. And it was really broken English, to be honest.
It's like our English here, same kind of...
No, it's just the
even
teachers
worse.
back in Estonia, they were Russian, right? And they were learning from the tapes and kind of, books that they had. They didn't know how the English, like, British or American accent sounded. They don't know anything about accents. So they just kind of talked in this generic, like, hello, how are you kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not American, it's not Canadian, it's just a muffled shit.
Yeah.
But they were trying to sound, English. Whatever.
That was a good impression.
Well, it was like that. And then I remember when I moved to England when I was 10, I started going to school, and I discovered that the kids had a very different accent. They spoke differently from me. And they started asking me, like, oh, where are you from? Your accent is really weird. And I just said, oh, well, I learned it in Estonia. But I eventually started to pick up on the British accent, and within a couple of months, I basically acquired the British accent, and they basically thought it was British.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Can you just, like, switch it back on, British accent?
Right now?
Can you do that, like, at any time? Or would you have to, like, go to Britain and have a bunch of people, like...
No, I wouldn't. I can
first,
actually...
like, if a whole bunch of people are all talking that way, and you just walked in the room, and they don't know that you're from somewhere else, you could just be like, hello, mate.
That's right. Well, that's right. I can still do it, actually. I can still talk like this. It's all right. It's like, what's going on, mate? It's like, very showing it.
Shall we have some tea and crumpets?
Yeah.
And
Tea and biscuits.
Is it noon already?
Do you think you want to have lunch now? Oh, right on. It's like, yeah, I still remember the accent a little bit.
Cool.
But yeah.
That must have been exciting. You had an exciting life, man. Holy fuck. You've been all over the place.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting and.
What do you think about Halifax? It fucking sucks, doesn't it?
Well,
It's
I wouldn't say it sucks. I mean, you really have to look at it from kind of all different angles.
Yeah,
like I heard a lot of elder people, the elder part of the population say that Halifax is great, but it's because it's more of like a laid back, slow paced kind of city.
Well, it's because they've been all over the fucking place.
Well,
and
yeah,
like, you know what? The rest of the world fucking sucks. This is awesome, guys. Don't move. There's nothing better than this. You're fooling yourself. But
Well, that's sometimes true as well.
It's for their own reasons, right? They've been through a bunch of shit that made them come here and go, oh, wow, thank God. It's like, oh.
Finally can sit down.
I can, like, undo my belt and let my belly hang out. Oh. I don't have a belly. But...
Well, yeah, that's basically it,
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I mean, like, for students, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't admire the education system here too much, just because I came from a Soviet-based, like, educational base, and education here is really poor for what it is. Like it's
like fucked up and like
oh,
it's made to like pump out more like consumers and shit like that. That's basically what it's for.
Yeah,
like,
it's all a business. You know,
we used to have to wait. This is the weirdest shit. We used to wait in line. Like they're like, okay, go outside and play, and I'm like, I have asthma. I don't want to fucking play. And they're like, go out and play and run and do shit. And I'm just like, oh. And if you go, sometimes you could like go and like sit on a rock, and they come over and be like, what the fuck are you doing? I said go and play. Now here, take this stick and this ball and go do something. And you're like, motherfucker, throw the ball out in the fucking traffic.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Hit with the stick again. What'd you give me a stick for? Shit.
Oh man.
I forget what I was talking about. That is way too funny. Oh shit. Oh, waiting in line, and then like on the way back in from the break, you'd have to all line up. And if everyone didn't line up perfectly and be quiet and perfectly still, we were never allowed back inside. And there was like always some clown who was just like getting out of line. You know, and the teacher comes along, like grabs him, pulls him by the ear, and, like pulls him to the back line. Hey, shut the fuck up and get in line, motherfucker. Don't you understand? Something called Sobeys. This is fucking training for waiting in line at Sobeys. You can't be doing that shit. Okay? Like that, they should just be honest about school, man. 'Cause that's what it was all about. That's it.
That was hilarious.
It's just life in Canada.
Yeah. That's what it's like. Yeah.
Like, I do some fucking math, motherfucker. Like, oh.
Speaking of math, I used to have when I was in high school. I think I was very like anxious and worried all the time, just because like I didn't really have. Did the numbers close in on you?
No, I don't. You're like under the desk. God damn. Eights and 32s. No.
Yeah, if I was smoking weed back in high school, then that's what would have happened. But unfortunately, I wasn't.
I think weed would like mellowed you out, man. You just been like 8s and 32s, whatever. I've got a shield over my
when you blow your smoke out, you go blow the numbers like flies away.
Yeah. The teacher's like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're like, what? Are you smoking a joint in class? And you're just like, yeah, man. Like, I have some crazy anxiety going on right now.
Crazy anxiety.
8s and 32s. Woo.
Oh my god.
This is great. It's like a captive audience here. I just need to like figure out how to just like make a whole bunch of you copy and paste over. Like I have a whole audience. Some better video software for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I kind of want to smoke more of this.
You should. Holy crap, you're hilarious.
Not really.
You're like, brush it off, like, more biscuits.
14 biscuits.
Oh, crumpets. Milk in my tea. I don't have any milk in my tea. What is this?
Don't even know what a crumpet is. Just sounds good for this story, mate. What have you done recently? What's your thing? Like, what are you doing? What do you do?
What am I doing?
Yeah, like, why do I, like, randomly hear your name places and see flyers and stuff? What are these things?
I guess it's come to the point where...
I noticed you play, like, different kind of venues.
Yeah, I mean, I play... Like, people always ask me, like, usually new acquaintances, they ask me, so if you're a DJ, do you play at a certain venue? And I explained to them that no, I don't have a residency, so I have to play at different venues.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess it's coming to a point now where I kind of networked a bit in the past almost 3 years, I guess. And usually when, for example, like friends of friends or friends have like a party going on or like a gig that they need a filler DJ in for whatever,
Yep.
they ask me and I just say, yeah, sure. I used to work, I think it was last summer, I used to work for Advanced Systems, and that's, you know, the entertainment company. And I worked with them for a summer, but then I didn't get my driver's license, and I should have, because they said, we're not going to give you any more work if you don't have a driver's license.
They
I was
want
like,
you to
okay.
drive places?
Yeah.
Different
And
shows and shit?
yeah, well, I said that I'll get it, but I never
Like a license
got it.
and a car, too? Like,
Well, a driver's
Your-
license, right? Like, I guess, I don't know, I don't know how it all goes. I don't know the whole driver's license business.
over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get well, it's like an ID card, same thing.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't know, like, the rules. So, like, if you
Oh.
just get your license, are you allowed to drive a vehicle? Or do you
No,
have to
no.
have
There's, like,
to be...
Probation time. I think
Yeah.
it's like a whole year you gotta wait before
Really?
you get your full license, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works in Nova Scotia.
Or maybe 2 years or something.
No, it was definitely only 1 year.
Yeah.
It might even be put back down.
Is that when they take the N off? Like, there's an N on it or something?
I don't know. I had my license in New Brunswick, so it was totally different. And I got my license a long time ago.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Nova Scotia, it was just a matter of like paying them some money, and they printed me out a little card.
Yeah.
And I've moved to Ontario twice, and I've moved to New Brunswick like twice since I got my license here. And I've always kept my Nova Scotia license for one reason, because it looks fucking awesome. It's
Does
got
it?
like, yeah, like it's got like mountains in the background and shit.
Oh, that's the same thing that's on my license.
Well, it's awesome. The other one, New Brunswick sucks. It's like a white background with
gotcha.
nothing.
Okay. I
And
thought
it's got, like, a
every
stupid
province
New
had some
Brunswick.
sort of like, you know, those letters. No.
They don't have pictures on the other ones. Like
Oh,
Ontario
okay.
and then New Brunswick didn't have really cool pictures.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This has like the awesome pictures. I don't want to lose my awesome pictures. I'm gonna keep that shit.
But,
I'm not gonna go showing the whole world my fucking driver's license though.
Yeah.
I'll just give them the code on the back. Ever have those things scanned before? Have you ever been out at the bar and they've been like,
No.
take your license and put it inside the machine? And
Well, they
it
scan my
reads?
ID, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, they're the same thing, right?
Yeah, your ID like this.
Yeah.
They've scanned it though before, right? Like,
Yeah.
put it in a little machine.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy shit.
What, them scanning for people?
No, it's crazy. Like security, like on the card,
Oh,
to
yeah,
prove
yeah.
that it's like that you really are real and registered and everything.
Yeah.
Because like I could fucking counterfeit a card pretty easy, and like make fake IDs for people.
Yeah.
But if anyone ever fucking scanned it, it would be like, wow.
Yeah, you're not real.
That age and that number doesn't line up. Like,
Yeah.
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 This isn't a real card.
But yeah, what were we talking about?
What you've done recently.
What I've done. So
what
yeah,
kind of
just
places to play.
just random gigs most of the time. Like, that's one of the reasons why I play so many different genres. Like, it's usually I stay within the broken beat graphic, like the quotes, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I spend like UK garage, chilled, ambient, dubstep, liquid drum bass, and breaks. That's usually my niche. That's where I stay in. And so I usually spend like one of those 4 categories at the gigs. And other than that, I've crap. I have this like stupid cough that's going away still.
That's the thing when you
I'm a
get
cold.
to these fucking like cold snaps and then warm snaps and then cold snaps. And
Yeah.
when the temperature goes like hot, cold, hot,
Well,
cold,
that's-
hot, cold. It's like, oh, my body.
Well, I think it's more of a fever, but like it's just basically this cough that I've been having, but it's going away, so it's
Yeah.
no biggie. Another thing that I've done, other than just gigs, like random freelance gigs here and there, is I got together with 8 of my friends and people that I know, and we all established this collective and we called it Modulate. So
Modulate.
Modulate. So module,
Like a modulator?
and like the number 8 because there are 8 original members.
Cool.
So and right now we're kind of trying to organize gigs together, and we have our Facebook fan page up, and we have sort of a website, but it's not really a website. It's more like a Wix page for the bios.
Yeah.
But we're working on a website and working on, like, I'd say big things, as we like to coin, within the next couple of months, like especially in May.
Yeah.
That's going to be a pretty busy month.
So you could use Modulate if they could, as like a company, secure like a residency somewhere. That would be cool. Because then you could just like switch DJs all the time.
Well, that's true. Yeah, exactly. And that's how
Who's
we're...
free tonight?
Yeah, sorry.
Go through the Rolodex.
Oh, man.
People use Rolodexes anymore, I don't think.
Actually, they do.
Yeah.
I've been in a couple of offices here for doctors or like hearing people, and I've actually seen those. It's surprising.
Wow.
Especially lawyers, yeah.
Mm.
But Modulate. We're planning to do our gigs exactly like that. If we can, we'll try to get all the DJs in and somehow figure out the timing, the slot timing between us. But there's a lot of us, and most of the times to comply with, the demands of the club owner or the manager or the promoters, we do have to draw straws to see who goes, but that's fair, right? Like we all know that we're all gonna get a turn, like this time or the next, so we're all cool about it. Like it's not our objective to compete with each other; it's our objective to help each other and support each other at everyone's gig. Like if say one member has a gig, usually a lot of the members from the group come to support that DJ. So it's like a support base, not only a collective, but like kind of like a little family.
Yeah, that's
I'd
good
say.
to have, man. That's
Yeah.
good to have.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember I was actually thinking, I was thinking about how there's a certain, like, this family, DJ family thing going on in Halifax. I've seen, like, certain DJ families from different generations, right? And I was thinking, like, oh, well, I really want that. So I guess we kind of, like, came together and established that.
That's cool.
Which is nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely love the family sense on the East Coast, which I felt totally disconnected in Ontario.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, it was all, like, fake and for money, and everything was just, like, about money, and that was about it. And it was just weird. But I found, like, I didn't get that, like, cool, connected family thing though. Not like it is here. Like,
I know what you
different.
mean, yeah. I mean, I've never lived in Ontario, but even when I was in Toronto, even though I like Toronto, I could tell that on the street, the big thing for me when I went to Toronto is seeing how anonymous people were when interacting with each other. Like, basically in Toronto, if you have friends, you're going to survive because you can see them and you won't feel as anonymous, but if you don't, you can just get lost in the crowd. Kind of like lost in translation in a huge metropolis.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I don't like. I mean, it's nice in Halifax to have this sense of, close-knitness and
I think it's
family.
just that there's a lot more people who aren't afraid to reach out here.
Maybe
Because
so.
there's a lot more people who are just like, I don't know, like I invite you to my fucking show in my fucking basement in these sketchy townhouses, and you just like came over, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, that probably what doesn't happen in Toronto. It's like, hey man, come on my show, and they're like, yeah, I'm fucking right. You fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the fact that how everyone says people in Nova Scotia are very friendly.
Yeah.
Definitely has something to do with that.
Yeah. Fuck.
And I mean, I'm not Nova Scotians, but I still consider myself friendly. Hopefully.
Well, if you've been here this long, so. Yeah, it fucking affects you, man. Like, when I first moved back from Ontario, the first thing I did, like, I was here, and there's Needs around the corner, so I was, like, walking over to Needs, at, like 6 in the morning, maybe 7 in the morning, and there was, like, an old lady, like, pushing a cart, and she was just like, good morning, and I was just like, I was kind of, like, weirded out. I was like, oh my god. I didn't know how to react. I was like, what the fuck? Like, whew. And then some like woman and like her little kid were walking, and like in Ontario, if some woman saw you walking with their kid, they would be like, "Into the side, honey, let's go." And then here they were like, "Hello, good morning." And the little kid's like, "Hi." Like, shit, what do I do? I forget.
Yeah.
I've been away. I'm sorry. So yeah,
funny.
it took a little while to adjust. But now here I am holding doors for people.
Oh man.
All the little things that you take for granted, you don't know about until you leave, and then you're just like, what? Wow, nobody ever says hello or hi or have a good day. Nobody ever smiles unless they're being paid to smile. And no one ever holds the fucking door for you.
Wait, what are you talking? Are you talking about?
Talking about like Ontario, yeah.
Yeah.
And even just anywhere outside the Maritimes, man. Like, it's a weird culture here. Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't, like, I've traveled a lot for how young I am. I consider myself, like, a pretty avid traveler, and I get the chance. But I haven't lived in many places. That's a little bit different. But I can still say that, like, compared to where I live, which is, England and Estonia, it's a pretty unique place. I mean, I do find it boring a lot, just because, like, there's almost a non-existent underground electronic music scene, because of the poor education and the job cuts and whatnot, right?
Oh, yeah.
And very few, like, I'm very picky about entertainment, right? Even despite that, it's a nice place to live. Like, especially for families and usually the elder, but, like, it's a nice city. People are nice here, with a very few exceptions.
Yeah. Families and businesses, I think, might do good.
Yeah.
It's too bad that so many venues are closing down around here, though. It's just like, wow, really? Like, they need to open up something really big.
I know.
Something really big that anyone can rent it out. And, I don't know.
It's, like, I remember it was, like, a couple of month period last summer, and that's where all the clubs closed, like Coconut Grove, Mosaic, Victor's. Did Tribeca close?
Yeah, I think that's.
I think Tribeca did close.
Did it?
Yeah, I think so. And and like Electric Fridays stopped at the Palace, so it kind of all seemed to. Oh, and the Paragon too.
Paragon,
It all seemed to just shut down and then instantly come back to mainstream, and it was just kind of like whoa, like a shock.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's been really hard to kind of find venues for gigs. And I mean, like I don't organize shows now, but I did a year ago, and I really want to do it soon. But like, it's really hard to find venues here, for electronic gigs.
Yeah, it's hard. House parties are the way to go around here. There's a lot of house parties, man. There's like the Borough, where you cross the street.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Ferry House back here that plays parties all the time. And then there's occasional parties right here. And yeah. A lot of these places are charging admission now.
Yeah, I know the Borough does.
Yeah.
I didn't go there yet, but I heard that
it's fucking awesome.
Parties are wicked.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it really like from what the photos that I've seen? The photos are really good, actually.
In the basement?
Yeah, in the basement, and like, does it get like packed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's
packed.
what I like. I like it when something's packed. Like it just close tightness of an audience. I don't know.
Yeah, and a wide range of like guests too. Like you'd think it'd be all like a bunch of ravers in there, like.
Yeah.
But I'm hanging out in this little room, and like these like frat house guys come in. They're like, "Hey, bro, what's up, bro? Yo, bro. Hey, bro, what's going on, bro? Bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Are you serious?
Yeah. So,
frat house guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone, man. All kinds of people from all
different.
Big mix of people. It's great.
Yeah.
And everyone gets along good. And everyone, no fighting or anything. So.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. I gotta stop going all the time. Fuck. If I could just like drive my lips off. Well. There. Now we'll do it. But now I need a drink. Oh my god. What is in the future? What's in the near future? Like you've said about your party of 8. So I guess that's kind of future kind of stuff you're building on.
It is, yeah.
Is there any upcoming gigs or anything?
Upcoming gigs, well, for Modulate, yes, there's a gig, there will be a gig at Rockopolis on May 12th. And it's hosted by the Bass Bias guys, The Juice, and Retroid. And we also have a bunch of Modulate people come in. Like, some of the members, not all of them, but some of them are going to come in and spin too. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just writing that down. Rockopolis.
And we might be having a gig on April 27th, but we haven't confirmed it yet.
Okay.
So, and that's with all the DJs. That'll be with all of us.
Yeah. I'll get you to email me a bunch of this stuff,
Yeah.
but I just want to make notes. Dun, 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 dun. So, other than music, what are you into?
What am I into?
Yeah.
Other music,
music's a big part of life, I know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think music is my whole life.
No. It's not. It's
just this. It's got to be a balance, you know.
Of course. Yeah. I'm currently on the process to applying and taking a nutrition degree.
Oh,
and I have decided on that only within the past 6 months because I discovered that passion. It's a new passion for me.
Yep.
And so hopefully in the fall I'm going to be admitted to the Bachelor of Science Nutrition program at MSVU. And I already went to Dal for 3 years since I graduated high school, but I kind of didn't finish my degree because I did like a year of commerce, I didn't like it, and then I switched to liberal arts and social sciences, and I didn't really like that. So I just kind of left and worked for a year and DJ'd, and then I decided to pursue nutrition.
Cool.
So yeah.
I like nutrition and stuff like that. So
yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm very the kind of the stereotypical environmentally conscious, like organic, person. Even though I drink vodka like a fish, that's that's a different story.
Are you into like physical fitness or anything?
I am, but I have very low willpower, personally. I do. Nice. I mean, I know exactly, like, I have done a year's worth of personal research on nutrition and dietetics and stuff like that. And I know what I can do to look great and physically fit and healthy. But there are just so many good fucking foods out there. Like...
You gotta dig your heels in.
Like, like
eat
gummies.
Some food that tastes like dirt. You gotta eat your whole diet.
Exactly.
Everything tastes like dirt.
Well, how can you resist the certain flavors? And I mean, like, Halifax is really big on munchies. Like, everyone smokes pot. I smoke pot. And munchies are killer, man. Yeah. Like, they're, like, the destroyers of every diet. I swear. But,
yeah, you're right about willpower.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've managed to break free of all the vices of food. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm on like a strict carbs and protein diet.
That's cool.
For like working out all the time.
Yeah.
And it's lots of fun too. Like.
I used to work out a lot, but I guess I've noticed that since last fall approximately, I just kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say I got depressed, but I just kind of like.
I went downhill. Since last fall, as soon as like the clouds fucking formed over Halifax, like for winter onset, I was just
the winter blues came early.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I definitely lost like all my ambition to work out because we had a little gym set up upstairs in the living room, and with like a weight bench and everything, and the morning sun just shines in like.
Yeah.
And it's like, you go and get that sun energy, like you have some eggs for breakfast and like have a good workout, and. Once that fucking sunlight was gone in the morning, it was just like, you look over that fucking weight bench, you're like, I hate you. I hate the look of you. Going back to my room, going back to bed for another 3 hours.
Yeah,
get up at noon.
it's so true though. I mean, the winters here are depressing, right?
Yeah.
So I just kind of noticed that since then, like since the beginning of fall, or maybe like the mid-fall, I just stopped working out and started eating a lot. You know, gained some winter weight,
Yeah.
but hopefully after my birthday, and I'm like, I hope I stick to this, I'm gonna get back to like a healthy eating exercise regime.
Cool.
Because I'm still determined to like try and root for summer, and you know, look better, I guess.
One of the ways that I look at everything, like, you know, Easter happens, so you had to, like, every time you walk through the fucking grocery store, it's just like, blam! Chocolate, son! Motherfucking Easter Bunny! Homer! Fucking Family Guy! Everyone, like, chocolate! Bart Simpson chocolate! Like,
Yeah.
I look at it all as plastic. I'm just like, that's not even chocolate. That's just like some weird plastic that's been falsely fabricated into these weird
it's
molds.
true. Yeah.
And it's not even like really it's not even really made from like the cocoa that you think it is.
Yeah, I know. It's like simulated flavor.
Artificial
Yeah.
flavoring
Yeah.
and a bunch of like weird plastic stuff that it's gonna probably give me cancer. So. And I look at everything that way though. Like I go through like the fucking chip aisle. I'm just like, it's all plastic.
Yeah.
And like all the pop, I'm just like liquid plastic.
Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, they all like a lot of the foods nowadays that are preserved or homogenized. Like they have, you know, ingredients that share ingredients with paint, like plastic. You know, I'm sure you've seen the butter thing going around. Yeah.
With the butter too.
Yeah.
I remember Cheese Whiz. That's long been known. Cheese Whiz is one chemical away from a garbage bag.
Yeah. That's why I've never had it.
Oh, it's so good.
Really? I've never had it.
tastes
For that
amazing.
that particular reason.
Yeah. You don't ever want it. You just be like, that's it. That's all I'm eating from now on ever. Must have Cheese Whiz on it. Some Cheese Whiz on that steak.
On the salad.
Put some Cheese Whiz on that salad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having apples, bunch of cheese. Hey, what are you doing? I'm not getting out of here that easy. Put some Cheese Whiz. Fuck. I'm gonna bring up something called the news, and I have it on your screen. So if you want to click on those, you can follow along.
Okay.
I'm just gonna click on the first one. It might say, "Do you want to open this link?"
Which one do you want to open?
The first one.
Okay. It's opening. Okay.
CIA, secret prison.
Uh-huh.
It's a secret prison that the CIA has in Poland. And I forget why. I didn't make notes, so I forget why this was even news. For years, the notion that Poland could allow the CIA to operate a secret prison in a remote lake region was treated as a crackpot idea by the country's politicians, journalists, and the public. I don't know, it seemed a lot more interesting, I guess, when I wrote it down. This is the best news ever.
Is it? Are you being sarcastic?
No.
No.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm gonna go to the next one. This one's fucked. Canada's gonna stop policing the labels of food. So
No
like right
way.
now there's like a dedication of officers who go around and check like the box and they're like, let's see, it says these are cornflakes. Let's test to make sure these are cornflakes. And they're like, nope, it's rat shit. Wow. Let's fine fucking General Mills. They're getting a big fucking fine selling rat shit and calling it cornflakes. So those police who do that aren't going to be doing that anymore. So when they want to start putting rat shit in the box, they can call it cornflakes and sell it to us. And we have to buy it. If we open it up, we're probably voiding some kind of like seal deal inside. Just fine print, like, opening this bag. You agree to eat all of the rat shit contained within. And you just open that bag up and oh, whew, these cornflakes are rotten. Oh, I'm still gonna eat them though. This is the world that we live in, man. It's fucked.
Why would you have to eat them? Because it makes some
it was in the agreement.
Yeah.
This is the fine print on the agreement inside the box.
Who reads fine print though? It's like, you know that movie with the Santa Claus with fine print? Can't remember what it's called.
With Tim Allen?
Yeah,
Santa
that
Claus?
one. Yeah,
that was good. I think they did a part 2, didn't they?
I can't remember.
Pretty sure there's a part 2.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Good movie though.
Yeah, it is. You ever see Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes, that was
so
pretty funny
good.
too. I actually just watched it this Christmas that went by.
Really?
I had never
Nice.
seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it was good. Very good. So yeah, the federal government is gonna like in all the cuts that they're doing, cutting out the government. They're like, well,
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy. Like, it's some of the laws that are being passed or are about to be passed. They're nuts.
in this place.
I don't remember the bills by numbers, but the bill of, like, you know, the whole legalizing marijuana thing, right? Like,
Right.
that's ridiculous.
Well, they keep changing the bills too, and they keep like, when they get run down in court, they just keep like trying to tack that on with this bill over here, and then maybe chunk this piece out here and put it on with this bill,
Yeah.
and then they'll be able to pass this bill because this one is a bill about like don't run over babies when you see it in the street. Oh, and fucking pot is illegal as fuck. Well, yeah, we don't want to run over babies when we just see them in the street, so
Yeah.
let's make that law go through.
Don't you find that weird how... Okay. I think the bill that was about to be passed for legalizing marijuana in Canada was talked about earlier than the one where, you know, the Americans decided all of a sudden it's just like pot is really illegal, right? That was a newer bill, wasn't it?
Here's what happened back in the day. Jean Chrétien made pot decriminalized. And then he was like, "Badam, and I'm done, fucking president. I'm done being prime minister."
Yeah.
And so he had like left this like thing, and then it was like so long. It was like, but there was a prime minister, like enacting prime minister, and it was a woman, and she was like there acting as prime minister for these months. So she couldn't undo anything that he had done. So for like the next like 8 months or something, this like decriminalized pot ruled through Canada. And then, like, as soon as the new guy came in, it was, like, the first thing he fucking did to change it was change it back. And during that, like, 8-month period, I think it was, like, 8 months anyways, fucking George Bush was on TV going, like, threatening to cut off all trade with Canada if they don't change that fucking pot law.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, like, just like that, it was, like, fucking, blam, there's a new prime minister, and he's in there, and he's fucking, first thing he did was, like, change that shit back. So, like, we definitely,
Wow.
like, listened to their threats.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't remember that.
No. Well, I wouldn't know
A lot of people
that.
weren't watching the fucking news. They just happened to have seen all that shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know that because, I mean, they only came here in 2003.
2003. Yeah, it was definitely before that.
And I mean, yeah, and I definitely, like, I didn't even watch the news back then. I mean, like, you know, a teenage kid
yeah.
trying to fit into junior high
Yeah.
in a completely different country.
Fuck the news. Like, I need to watch fucking Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah. I used to watch that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The talking cat.
Yeah.
And Mr. Meow Meow, he's not here, but he's here somewhere. I keep telling him, like, he's like, meow. He, like, wants to go out or something, and I'll let him fucking sit there and meow for, like, a half hour. He's like, meow. And I'm like, dude, you know what you gotta do. Just gonna say one fucking word, and you're out. I'll let you out. It's like, oh. You can see it in his eyes. He's just like, I really want to say a word, but the other cats are gonna kick my ass if I say anything. I can't rupture the balance of Mother Nature and everything. Shit. I'm like, I know you can talk, motherfucker. I know you can. So I'm trying to like bribe him.
Yeah.
So,
That's too funny.
well, one of these days, man. He's
Yeah.
just gonna like break down.
You
and,
just
like,
gotta, do a little...
I'll have like a piece of fish or something. And I'll be like, yeah, how much do you like that fish? Alright, I fucking want it! Give it to me! I'm like, I fucking knew it! Here you go.
Oh Oh my god.
Like, from now on, though, you and me have to talk all the time. Stop fucking licking your ass in front of me. Fucking prick. Oh, that's... Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
In Ontario, on the highway, a fucking tractor trailer crashed. And in that tractor trailer was $3 million to $5 million worth of loonies and toonies. And if you're not from Canada, a loonie is a $1 coin, and a toonie is a $2 coin. Loony and toonie. Fucking stupid names that we have for our coins, man. Okay, a loony is called a loony because there's a fucking loon on it. A loon is a duck, okay? A pretty duck that doesn't actually taste that good.
No.
So
they're really annoying.
that's why it's called a loony. And a toonie, I don't know where the uni comes from. It's just a fucking $2 coin. There's no oon. There's no loon. There's no oon. It actually has 2 fucking bears on it.
It should have been.
Who the fuck made this shit up? And why does it stick and run like wildfire through all of Canada? The whole of Canada is just like, yeah, loonies and toonies.
I don't know.
It just became census. Like, I'm like, are like things instilled? Like, is there a marketing campaign going on? We're gonna call these loonies and toonies. We'll start with the loony, and then we'll bring out the toonie about 2 years after, and we'll cycle them out through Canada, and then we'll spread these rumors. People calling them toonies and loonies.
Yeah. Oh man.
We'll put it in news articles and shit.
That's a good question. I have no idea why.
Hey, the way they slowly wrote in like the Harper government, it just very slowly started to leak in. This site started saying it. This TV station started saying it. It's like, were they all fucking like paid to start saying it slowly, one at a time, to slowly build it in and ease everybody in? Then it's just like, oh, the Harper government. So yeah, it crashed. The Loonies and Toonies truck crashed, and it was a fucking frenzy of cars parked in this dangerous ass place. It's so dangerous that trucks are crashing. So then people's cars were like pulling over and like, oh my god,
money.
Yeah. And they're still to this day like trying to pull over, but the cops are making them like pull over like way the fuck down the road where they're not going to just pull over on this dangerous spot.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
And they said that they didn't even recover it all, so there's still some left to be found.
Crazy.
Yeah. And they said with the cost of gas, like how much it costs to get out to this location, to actually go and find like maybe $10 worth of loonies, like, is it really worth the $20 in gas you're gonna spend to get out there?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're calling them treasure hunters. It's like it's just people who are interested in the story behind it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. I like news stories like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What's next? Yeah, someone posted this online. It looked really cool to read about. This guy's like resignation letter because of asking to log into the Facebook accounts of new hires, which is apparently something that's being done in different companies in the world are doing this.
Really?
Where if you go for your interview and they're like, okay, and now we're just gonna have you log into your Facebook. And you're like, what? Yeah, you're just gonna log into your Facebook, please?
Wait, you mean like a job interview?
Yeah, at a job interview.
That's fucked.
They go, log into your Facebook now, and you're like, what? What for? They're like, well, because we need to look through your profile. And then they look through your pictures and friends and photos, and they look at your wall, and they read the content of your wall, and then they also base their decision on hiring you on what's going on in there. So if they see some like weird shit, like when I fucking post on my Facebook wall, definitely not getting hired.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, and some places ask you actually to write down your username and password on a piece of paper on the application and just give it to them. Yeah.
Wow.
Companies are getting crazy.
That's so nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy wrote this like article here, and then it was all of. Look, I did it again. It's fuck. It's a resignation letter because he's been asked to hire new hires and check their Facebooks. So he's like, fuck that, I resign. And he writes this letter to his company.
Yeah.
But the next day, there's like, if you read this disclaimer, everything is made up. Yesterday, I wrote a fictional resignation letter. So he didn't actually even resign, but he wrote that letter in protest, I guess. Mm-hmm. And also to bring the attention to those motherfuckers who are doing that.
Yeah. Man, that's so nuts. Like, do you know which companies do that?
No. They're probably really big companies, like...
Yeah, like corporations.
Big corporations, too.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's such an invasion of privacy.
You're not gonna, like, work at McDonald's or anything.
No.
Like, let me see your Facebook. Creeping your friends. Posting some shit on your wall. I'm gonna write a funny thing on your status.
Yeah, it's like, oh, who's that? She's hot. Can I have a number? I was like, excuse me? No, I just I thought it was a relative of mine. Nonchalantly.
Speaking of more of the cuts in the government, this is the fucked up one. They cut the rights and democracy. International Center for Human Rights and Democratic Development, also known as Rights and Democracy.
I'm trying to open it. There we go.
It's an independent agency that monitors human rights and promotes democracy abroad. Monitors human rights. What does that mean?
I don't know. Monitors human rights?
Yeah.
What does that mean in terms of, like, lawmaking, or...?
I don't know. But you know what? I think making everybody work, like, 8 hours a day is fucking retarded. And that should be against our human rights. There should be, like, a cap on how much companies are allowed to make people do stuff.
Yeah. Actually, you're very right. I remember I had a job,
They just work you to death, man.
Oh, like, I have a short story about this. I remember I just got a job as a housekeeper at the Blue Nose Inn and Suites on Bedford Highway.
Yep.
And they were really understaffed that summer. It was only last summer. And they were really understaffed. And I remember on the second day that I came in, it turned out there were no other housekeepers other than me. So that day they had about 30 rooms that had to be done, including laundry and everything, right? And I was
Is that like your hazing? They're all like, we're not going in today. That new girl's gonna do it all. That's your initiation.
I don't know. It's like the break-in. You gotta break her in. You know.
No, it's gonna like break you the first day. Then you're just fucking broken. You're just like,
well, they didn't break me, but I broke down. Like, I worked for 12 hours. Or actually, no, wait. I worked for 16 hours. I worked from 8 until midnight. Like, 8 in the morning to midnight. And did 30 rooms by myself. And I was just like, I remember I couldn't even walk. And they didn't even care when I was out of there as long as I had everything done. But that was just, like, child labor, you know? It was a terrible fucking job. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain amount of hours that they are allowed to ask you to work. Like, I think it's like 13 is the maximum hours you can work, or maybe 12. So I've definitely heard people say, I just get off a 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
So
12-hour shifts are crazy. And that was a 16-hour shift. Like, that was nuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was actually ridiculous. Like, I remember it was really physically demanding job, and there were only, like, 3 housekeepers there for a huge hotel. Like, it was pretty big. And the rooms were, like, apartment sized, right? So I remember I wasn't even, like, fired, but I was laid off. Basically, like, I came up, like, the manager asked to speak with me, and then she was just like, yeah, Sasha, I don't think it's your niche, so to say. And I'm like, what, fucking cleaning? Like, wait, you think I can't clean? Like, you know, like, seriously, like, it was just so pathetic. Like, I only worked there for a month, and I guess, like, they didn't, like, the hotel owner is so cheap that he doesn't want to pay people, like, he doesn't want to have the extra person. He wants to make 2 people work like horses instead of 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's so nuts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's business, man. Cuts and cuts and cuts.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I definitely, like, last year, or Yeah, last year, like when I was living on my own and just working, I went through a lot of jobs just being like laid off or just having been told that they overestimated, like, or whatnot. It's like I didn't ever get like fired for misconduct. Like, I just got laid off basically, where I asked you, like, oh, didn't work out. Some of them put it.
Didn't work out. Getting a layoff though is definitely better than being fired, because had you had worked before that, any amount of hours you would have worked at other jobs before leading up until that layoff would have contributed to an unemployment insurance claim, where they pay you like 55% of your wages that you just earned. So
yeah,
they're actually kind of doing you a favor if they give you a layoff. So I guess that's kind of what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, now you're eligible for like some free money, motherfucker.
I personally found
it. Your ass.
I found it really hard, like, when I was going to Dal for 3 years, and I basically almost finished my degree, right? But I found it really, really difficult coming out of the whole student mindset into the adult world and just working. Whereas I had so many problems with, like, for example, I worked at Perks, and Perks went bankrupt. Like, what do? You can't do anything against that, right? So just me, like, with those types of jobs.
Yeah.
And I was struggling, honestly. Like, I have a lot of sympathy for students that, just finish their degrees and then go out, into the adult world and try to, like, live. Because it's hard, man. It's hard here.
It doesn't ever get easier here, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard in Halifax.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's tight competition here, too.
I know.
There's a lot of people looking for work. And a lot of people out of work. And there's a whole bunch of people moving here for, like, this shipbuilding contract. And because of the shipbuilding contract, everything is trying to put their prices up. So, like, I was looking for apartments and stuff last summer, and already just over the winter, prices have gone up by like $300.
Wow.
For, like, if you look at the prices of everything, for what a 3-bedroom place would have cost last summer is now gone up by like $200 to $300.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, because when all these new people move in for the shipbuilding, they want the prices to have already been inflated. But it's like, you know what, motherfuckers? We're not all shipbuilders. Like, some of us are, like, entertainers.
Yeah. Like regular peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that going on. But then, like, if you think about all these people who are going to, like, descend onto Halifax for this contract and moving here and buying houses and shit, they're all bringing their wives and their kids who are also looking for fucking jobs, right? So it's just adding, like,
it's true.
3% more people than what we already have looking for work.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll sound very hypocritical, but I'm not from here, and I immigrated here, right? But the immigration here, by different, like, citizens of different nations or whatever, and how they come here with families and whatnot, that definitely takes a big toll on the job market. For sure. Like, I mean, I am part of it because, I mean, I immigrated here. But, still, like...
They took our jobs. You took our jobs. She took our jobs.
I was like, thank you, come again.
Oh, fuck. There's nothing wrong with people, like, immigrating to places.
No.
And I think it's awesome that you can still immigrate to Canada when so many other countries have, like, shut their borders. Like, there's so many places you just can't go. Like, you just can't go to Europe anymore. Like, you just can't. They don't want any more fucking people.
Yeah.
You can't just move to Spain and be like, oh, I want to live here with you guys. They're like, what do you got? Like, what do you got, man? Like, what makes you so fucking special?
Yeah. No, I know.
We have lots of space, man. We have lots of space. You see how fucking big Canada is? Have you tried to walk from here to New Brunswick yet? There's lots of fucking space. There's lots of shit. There's lots of room for everybody.
I haven't walked, but I've driven, and there's a lot of room for sure. I mean, like, let's be honest, 33 million spread over, like, that kind of territory is pretty roomy. Yeah.
Yeah. So why do we all cluster in these tiny little cities?
Because we're creatures of habit.
Fuck. We just don't want to grow. We don't want to change, man.
Well, we are social creatures. I mean, we like to huddle.
It'd be cool if we could just, like, build new cities and make them nice and perfect. Yeah. Start building, like, a new city somewhere. That'd be kind of cool.
Like Burning Man.
Like Burning Man, yeah.
Just like our city. Like, take somewhere in Nova Scotia that's really deserted and just, like, build a city out of it for a certain part of the summer. That'd be wicked.
I mean, just build the perfect city. So, like, the layout would be perfect. The right amount of space, the amount of people who can live there.
It can't be perfect.
And gardens that will grow itself for all the people, the residents and shit. I have an idea. I have a vision.
I have a dream.
I have a dream.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next thing on the list.
Cool.
You can read that one.
Which one? Vagina sense?
Yeah.
It's really part of the news, isn't it?
This is good news. Everyone needs to be aware of this.
Vulva original. I know a certain someone that would enjoy that product. May I say specifically my ex-boyfriend? Oh.
Do you want to read it, or I'll read it if you don't want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay. Vulva Original. Vulva Original is not a perfume, but the real erotic scent of a woman. Vulva Original is the natural scent of a woman's vagina captured in a sleek glass vial.
A glass vial. With its sleek spritz applicator. Spritz.
With a quick swipe of the roll-on applicator, your
Wait, you missed the line. You missed the line. Yeah. Okay. This long-lasting scent will awaken the erotic fantasy that lay deep in your mind. With a quick swipe of the roll-on applicator, your fantasies will be indulged with not only the memories of an exotic, aroused woman, but also her musky vaginal scent. Only a small drop is needed to make it last for hours.
Wow. Is this for real?
This is real.
That's the best part.
This woman is like making millions.
Holy crap. Where do you order it? Like
right there. Order Vulva Original today.
Oh. Wow.
This is for like dudes like, psst, psst, hey man, smell my finger.
What's the order discreetly? Read privacy and offers discreet.
Well, so like when the box shows up, it doesn't say like fucking
Vulva Original
vaginal perfume.
Wow. This is so different. Like, this is extremely different.
Different? Mm. For a news article? Or just for something on Earth to exist?
Just different in general. Where do you find this? Like...
I don't know. Stuff just comes to my email.
On the internet.
Oh, yeah. The internet.
Listen to the fucking internet.
The next one. This one's pretty cool. A town in, I want to say, Italy? Rasquera, Spain. This town is voting on growing a mass amount of pot to pay off the town's debt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, I want to move to that town and help them and then buy some of it from them. Yeah. Help them with that debt. I'm here to help you guys out with that debt problem. I've calculated that I smoke this much weed.
Just a kind-hearted volunteer.
I'd be like, hey, this is my reason I could, like, immigrate there. Right? I'd be like, look, I spend this much money on pot, and I'm like figuring it all out, and I give them the number, and they go, holy fuck, you're gonna spend that much money on pot this year? I'm like, yeah. And then they go, okay, I guess you could just move here, man. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Do you know how to grow this shit? I'm like, I think I do. Might have grown a plant or two back in the day.
So even if I'm not up to par, I'm a quick learner. Right.
Yeah. A quick learner. I mean, shit. I think Canada might want to do that too. Grow some pot, pay off our debt.
Great point.
Why don't we do that here? Bring that up at the next town council meeting.
Yeah.
And then the last one. I think, and I might be wrong, but I think that The Simpsons might be in their last season.
No way.
They've been like wrapping some shit up, man. Like over the last season.
Really?
Like, really, like you're like, wow, they finally answered some shit. And now, the guy who made The Simpsons, he just released. Like it's always been a big mystery where the town's from. Like every time they go to show it on a map, like somebody's thumb's in the way or mustard hits the map or you know, it's always like skewed. You can't tell where it's from. Well, he's finally come out and said where it's from. And it's from Springfield, Oregon, which is 160 kilometers south of the creator's hometown of Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's an actual town that he'd like been to before.
That's really cool.
Yep. And it says it was from the show, a television show, Father Knows Best, is where that show, Father Knows Best, was from Springfield, Oregon as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's like a fuckload of Springfields in the States.
Yeah,
there's
is.
There's like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot of people with the last name Simpson too. And Smith.
Yeah.
Simpson and Smith.
For sure.
I watch American Dad. I love that show.
Yeah.
American Dad's the best.
I watched it a little bit, but...
A little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the alien. He's fucking hilarious. Roger?
Yeah.
If there's no better character on TV than Roger.
Yeah, he's pretty hilarious / cute. Yeah.
In the last episode I watched, he created MDMA.
Really?
He was like the scientist who made it. And they had like take a time machine and go back and like...
Yeah.
And there he was. And then Stan's like, man, I need you to make some MDMA. And he's like, what do you know about MDMA? And he's like, come in here. And he's like, I've only made the MDM. I can't figure out what the A is. And then Stan's got like the formula like crumpled up on a piece of paper that Roger had given him earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, here it is. And he's like, oh, amphetamines. What the fuck? And then he goes in the corner and he like makes some and he's just like, wow. His eyes are like, bling. And he's like, I love everyone. Everyone's awesome. I want to listen to some music that goes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So.
That's like me back in the day.
Oh fuck. Yeah. So The Simpsons might be over. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but
yeah,
they've had a good run. What is it, like 23, 24 years? Like I know people who are like. I know people who are like 19 years old. Like Simpsons has been on since they were born. Before they were born. Like, that's weird. The only show that's been on since before I was born is The News. Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not from like. I spent a big part of my childhood watching Russian cartoons. I did watch some like American and British ones. But yeah, a lot of them were Russian for obvious reasons.
Do they make sense the same way? The jokes and everything? Like, does it translate?
No,
well?
it doesn't translate very well. No, unless you're a very high caliber linguist or a translator.
Yeah.
Like we have in Russian, we have this kind of the same. You know how sometimes you have this like the slang, right? We have the same thing, except there's across like Russia as a whole and post-Soviet countries. Because it's based on swear words, like it's just like this plethora of intricate swear words, and it's just they can't be translated because like they're just so like intricate. It's funny though. I mean, if I could translate it, I would, but it's really funny to a Russian ear. But, yeah.
I find that like French people and English people, you can't. Like, stuff that's funny in French is just not funny in English. It's like, oh, man. Like, really? Really? Are you, like, in grade 5? You're a fucking grown man. You're laughing like that about that? Like, the kloof de bloof! You're like, what the fuck does that even mean, kloof de bloof? And that's a French person. Kloof de bloof, way! And they go off like that. And it's like, oh. This is the place
I'm glad I never learned French.
I can't believe you're laughing at that. Yeah. But like English humor is like usually witty or some kind of like communication going on or dry humor, yeah. It's weird. I did some stand up comedy at Food Not Bombs. Something nice. Drum and Bass Not Bombs. and that was an awesome night.
Yeah.
You know, they rented out some like dance studio down
Yeah.
the North End,
Cool.
and like 4 sets of DJs went on, and in
Nice.
between while they set up, I did like little bits of stand up in between.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like half the people would go out on like a smoke break, and man, it took me back to like the raver days. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was a little mini rave going on, all
Yeah.
ages party.
That's great.
But they raised like $500 for food and alcohol,
Sweet.
and then a food pyramid that would like fill this whole table, like
Really?
like donations. Yeah.
Nice.
And, like at the end of the night, this one dude, like this older guy, like stopped in and was like, "Here you go, guys. Love your fucking cause, but don't love your music." He dropped off 2 of like the big canvas Sobeys bags full
Yeah.
of shit, bursting at the seams. Like,
Yeah.
here you go. So he's like, donated and left.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was like, man, Halifax. That's what makes me like, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, there are a lot of good like charitable events going on here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I've always admired that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Interesting.
Fundraisers are always great. I mean, I personally like fundraisers because I mean it's a great cause usually,
Yeah.
and I get to enjoy like music that I like. You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
So
You know, I'm definitely interested in trying to get into more hosting. So
Mm.
if your crew of 8 wants someone
Oh,
to do
for
funny
sure.
little things in
Yeah.
between while people set up and all that.
I actually have a. If I still have it, yeah, I do. I think. One sec. Or is it the same card? Yeah, it is. It's our business card. Can I show it in the thing?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. That's,
Let me see
can
if
you
it's
see
coming
it?
up.
I think I have psychic abilities. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, my friend Steve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today, I was just about to, like, I texted him, like, what time we're meeting up or whatever. And then he texted at the exact same moment telling me. It's just like, yeah, so, you know, like, and he was just like, whoa, this was crazy. And then I just got a message from, like, this photographer that I used to know. And I just wrote him, like, a message today, just like, oh, how are you doing, whatever. And he's just like, that's incredibly strange, as when I was in the studio earlier, I was looking at the pictures and I remembered you or whatever. Like, I just think I have, like, these psychic abilities to, like, feel when people want to come in contact with me or some shit.
Yeah.
I know it sounds,
believe
like,
that.
hoaxy, but,
No, I believe it. I
Kinda
have
sounds like
connections
it.
with some certain friends of mine that like
yeah.
and I don't know why. Like, there's some people who like, I feel like there's some people if you party and do drugs with, that there's some kind of like that happens and then you're like linked forever. 'Cause, like, I've got certain friends that I've like, partied with that's just like no. It's like, oh, I know who's gonna call, and then the text message comes through or something like, or
Yeah.
like all of a sudden you start thinking about them, and you're just like, I was doing something, and then you like go back to what you're doing, and then fucking they call or a text message comes or an email comes from
Yeah,
them, or they show up at
yeah.
your door.
Yeah.
Like, that happens.
Yeah.
And have you ever heard the thing about when people are like, oh, I dropped fucking, like, you drop a fork on the ground, like a fork means it's like a male coming, and if it's pointing like that
No.
way, then they're probably coming from that direction. That there's something about the magnetism of like the intent of your friend coming and thinking about you, and they're headed this
Really?
way, and
No.
there's just like this magnetism.
No,
of
I've
like,
never heard that.
And then if your friend, if you accidentally drop a utensil, it's like gonna like it's gonna land perfectly. Keep an eye on that shit, man. It's gonna creep you the fuck out how many times it's true.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just like
Really?
2 days ago, my roommate Desiree, she was like drying a fork, and she's like, boom, dropped it, and it was like, and it pointed at the door, and I was like, you've got company coming, and it's a dude. He's coming from that way.
How do you know it's a dude?
Like, a fork is a guy, and a girl is a spoon, I guess.
Oh,
and-
okay.
and I don't know what a knife. I know, I forget. Maybe it's something
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
pretty sure it was a fork as a dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, like 5 minutes later, fucking dude shows up at the back door. Hey, is Desiree here?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, sorry about
oh
that.
my god, she's gonna shit her pants.
That's crazy.
Because she never heard of it before, and I had just said it to her, and I was like, "Yeah, company's coming for you from
Yeah.
the backyard."
That's
and then
crazy,
She's like,
man.
"I've never heard that before. That's weird."
Yeah.
And then it happened.
I've definitely had coincidences like that before, but not in the same way. I've had for example, I see the future in my dreams. Like, I see certain events, and then they happen later on, and I go like deja vu, and it's from my dream. So
I've had
kind of
that.
like foresee
I've had that
my
a bunch
life.
of times. It's
Yeah.
creepy as fuck.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Because you never know when it's gonna happen. It makes you wonder. You know what I mean? Like,
But
you
you know
see a
what?
dream about the future, and then you're just like, oh my god, when is that gonna happen?
Do you know what the cool thing is? That I know that I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
I know there's nothing I can do that's probably going to make me die because, like, I know some shit is probably going to... Everything's going to be okay. Like, there's this feeling of, like, yeah, I know everything's going to be okay because I've had these dreams of some shit that happens, like, way in the future.
Yeah.
So I know there's some more
Wait,
future
are you talking about the Mayan prediction? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean, like... You ever have, like, people, like... I don't know. Maybe they have, like... No one really knows when they're going to, like, die, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, like... This thing that just is like always in the back of your mind. You never really know. That's why you don't walk out into fucking traffic.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people don't take any chances on a lot of things. So like, if you had some way of looking into the future, and you're like, well, I've got at least like 6 months. I can just go fucking crazy and do all kinds of crazy things, and like I know nothing's probably gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
And we'll be all right. So,
oh, okay, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's like a little bit of a weight off your back.
Yeah,
weight
it
off
is.
your shoulders, just like. Ugh.
Instead of worrying, it's just like, oh, could it happen?
What's gonna happen tomorrow? Is the end of the world gonna happen? Is the fucking sky gonna fall tomorrow? Oh my god! Like I'm so uncertain. Like I don't have that uncertainty about tomorrow. Like I don't know. And
it kind of has to. You're referring to kind of the similar thing to like psychics palm reading and telling you like your approximate date of death or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, but I just mean that I've had dreams about the future. Therefore, I know the future is coming. So it's like. And I know that I was okay in those future scenarios. It's not like... It's not like zombies were attacking or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I did have a zombie dream.
Really?
I had watched, like, The Walking Dead, so...
Yeah. That's
it was
why.
a fucking freaky zombie movie, too. Man.
Oh, I know.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty
dreams.
crazy.
Wow.
The makeup is insane in that show.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Yeah. They come from a... Have you watched all of them?
No. I only watched like the beginning of season 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Good shit.
Have you ever seen sorry, what were you about to say?
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, cool.
Go ahead.
Have you ever seen the show called Workaholics?
Nope.
It's really funny.
Is it a reality show kind of thing?
Oh, it's like a comedy show about these 3 dudes that work in an office and they're all buddies. It's really funny.
On my list.
There's only about 2 seasons of it, but it's really good.
Workaholics.
Yeah.
Workaholic. I am not a workaholic. No. No way. And the last thing from Workaholic was my jerk-off hour, my dog fuckers cards.
I think it's great.
But then I counter it by like, look, there's like weights over on the corner. And
yeah.
I've got a chin-up bar.
A yoga ball.
And the yoga ball.
Yeah.
And chin-up bar, I keep the chin-up bar in the bathroom. So like it's in like a place that it's not like I can be like, well, I never walked through that door today. You know, like now you have to walk through the door. So it's like, go do some chin-ups.
Yeah.
So I do them like several times a day instead of doing like
I wish I could.
full sets of
Too
chin-ups.
heavy for it, but
just put a chin-up bar in your fucking bathroom doorway, Like,
I can't lift all this weight.
You just gotta practice.
Yeah, I know, but you gotta have strong
I couldn't
arms
fucking
for
lift
that.
myself either, man. Like I could do like 5 chin-ups.
Really?
That was it when I started, and I've only been working out for a year. Now I can do like 6.
Yeah, 6.
Like 6 of those fuckers. Takes me about an hour. Oh, you hook your chin on. That's how you do chin-ups. Okay. Somebody get me down. Okay. Man, you should have seen me working out with my trainer. I had a trainer in Ontario. Holy fuck. I was a whiny little bitch. The whole way through. I was like doing push-ups like, I can't. And she's like, push you fucking weenie. I'm like, fuck. And she was like getting so pissed at me that I was like, I can't believe you. And then like one day I was just like, she's like, what did you eat today? And I'm like, I had like a peanut butter sandwich all day. It's like, what the fuck? You have to eat, like... And then she made me a meal plan. After she made me a meal plan, then everything just started falling into place. So...
Yeah.
It goes back to, like, your nutrition thing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fucking important in life, man.
It's
to keep the balance
exactly.
of, like, being a lazy fuck sitting here and then going and putting your body to the fucking test like that every day, like, or every 2 days. It, like, definitely levels things out. And I find I'm not, like, edgy and grumpy and snappy about anything.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I definitely, when I feel like it, I definitely go for a run or do a little bit of kickboxing for sure. But it's just like, it's still not enough physical activity for me to be in good shape. And I do have a lot of food vices. So
yeah, but just,
they're hard to give up.
Fuck. Just doing something is, like, better than
doing nothing.
The majority of people
on
Earth
exactly.
who are out, like, they go to work and, like,
exactly.
And they go home and, like, click, 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 click. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah. Colbert Report's on, eh? That's where I get all my news from, actually. Through, like, if I want to know what's going on in the world.
Colbert Report. Yeah.
And I just watched, like, 4 episodes back to back, like, 2 nights ago. It's like, yeah, I've been saving them up, man. Saving them up. It's a good show. Very well written.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Very well written.
He's a funny motherfucker too. And if you remember, a couple years ago, all the writers went on strike in Hollywood. Yeah. And like everywhere on TV and everything. All the talk shows all had to write their own shit, and like they were bombing miserably, man. And like Stephen Colbert like was like one of the only ones that like where he was still like so fucking funny as a dude that he could just go in and like write the shit himself. Like, well.
Yeah.
And like it was one of the only shows you could watch, and like you didn't even really notice that there weren't writers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Everyone else you noticed like right away. Like, sorry, Jay Leno. Yes, not funny at all, man.
No. Yeah. No, he is really funny. I agree. He's just like has this natural wit.
Natural wit.
Mm-hmm.
Wit. Okay. Want to end this motherfucker?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks for being on my show once again.
Thank you.
The wonderful, hilarious, fun, best audience I've had.
Your idea of copying and pasting me is priceless.
Hey, do that some more. I need some more sound bites.
Give you a buffet of sounds. All you can eat.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gold. Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah. Night, guys.
You can wave if you want.
Okay.
Oh, shit.